salutations, and welcome to the Rant Squad. I am the Water Dog. This is
Brenda Menard.
And our buddy Clint is doing some chemotherapy, and he's also had a loss in the family, so our condolences to Clint, and hope he gets to feel better. He says he's going to be back next week, and so you take care of yourself, brother. But we are going to be talking about your fantasy standouts. Who you got, who you like. Our current standings, Mr. Brendan, your lead has been cut down. You're at 27 points. Clint's at 23. I'm at 22. We both gained 4 points up there on you. So we brought the game closer, brother. And so it's gotten a little tighter in the fantasy standout picks. All right, speaking of that, let's look at Clint's picks real quick. So on the IDP this week for week 12, he's going Zach Bond and the tight end Brock Bowers. At the running back, Derrick Henry. And wide receiver, Terry McLaurin. And at the quarterback, Jaden Daniels. So we're going to get started for us. I'm picking my IDP, and I like the fact that the New York Giants are going to be starting a fresh meat quarterback and Mr. DeVito. Tampa Bay is going to be lined up against them. You know what that tells me? Levante David. I'm going Levante David for my IDP. Wreak havoc on the New York Giants that are just going in that direction.
Yep.
Who do you got?
So this past week, I was in Pittsburgh, and you see all the Steelers fans. Jack Lambert jersey, Jack Ham, Mean Joe Green, Rod Woodson, Troy Polamalu, James Harris. The list goes on and on and on. The jersey I saw the most was a fella by the name of T.J. Watt.
Yeah.
And they're playing Cleveland.
And he had a game.
So get your terrible towels out if you got T.J. Watt. This could be a 2-sack game. It's going to be a big one. Give me T.J. Watt.
All righty, let's do it. Tied end position. Really crucial game coming up between Green Bay and San Francisco. I don't know if Kittle's going to play, but I know who's going to be playing for Green Bay, and that's Tucker Kraft. And so this looks like a tight end type of game for me. So I like that. I like the fact that Green Bay's going to be throwing the ball. They're going to be throwing the middle. Kraft has been a good security blanket for Love, and he hasn't hit the end zone in a few games. So he's about due. So I'm looking for Kraft to get that touchdown, maybe 80 to 100 yards on the receiving end in a game like this. So, and especially because I think San Francisco is going to try to score a lot of points because they have looked bad here the last few weeks. They need a win really, really bad. They're going to have to throw up some points. So it looks like this could be a point. This could be a high-scoring game. This could be like a 30-28 game. So I'm going to go Tucker Kraft. Who you got, brother?
So in this one, I'm going to go Brock Bowers versus Denver. Denver is going to win this game, right? The Raiders aren't going to win. But if there's anything I've seen watching the Raiders this past week, which Brock Bowers broke a rookie record with 13 catches, over 100 yards and a touchdown, he's their number one target. And I think anytime you have tight end is your number one target, they're going to get all the volume, which leads to a lot of fantasy points. They're going to be Brock Bowers to win that simply because they're going to be their number one guy.
All righty. We're going out to the running back position, and I have not picked this player all season. I haven't picked him. But they're going to get Tennessee at home. I'm going to go Joe Mixon.
Yep.
Joe Mixon. And he's been the catalyst now for the Texans. So I think that's probably going to be the best way to go with it. So I'm going to go with Mr. Joe Mixon. Who you got?
So I think I'm going to go with a guy that kind of had a down week, I would say this past week as far as what we expect from him. Christian McCaffrey versus Green Bay. I think he's really just going to come out, have a great game in this one. I could see 2 touchdowns from this game. I think this is going to be a really good game. And when you play these close games, like this one I think should be, your great players have to rise to the top. And Christian McCaffrey, I think, is going to do that. And he's going to bounce back from last week's performance. Give me CMC.
All righty. Let's go now to the wide receiver slot. And I'm going to ride the same train I've been riding now from last week to this week, and I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. He didn't quite put up as high the number as I thought, but they're going to be playing the New England Patriots at home. They usually play the Patriots, pretty darn well, especially at home. And so at some point, the Tua Tyreek combination is going to have to take fire. Now, it's gotten better each week since Tua's been back. So maybe this is the week for the explosion. I just keep waiting for the explosion. So I thought it would happen last week. Maybe it's this week. So I'm going to go Tyreek. Who you got?
Well, you are going the same receiver in back-to-back weeks, and so am I. I'm going to go A.J. Brown versus the Rams. You were very fortunate to win of the three of us in the receiver category, but like you said, I think A.J. Brown, I'm just waiting on that. Waiting on that big game. I know he's very capable of it, so I'm just going to go back-to-back weeks just like you did, and let's see which one of us can win it this week.
All righty, brother. Quarterback! I'm going to pick this first time. I'm going to pick this player at the quarterback position because this is going to be a crucial game. This is going to be a division game. This is going to be a game that's going to decide who's going to take the lead in the West, and they're going to be at home. That's why I'm going to go with Geno Smith. I think this could be a good 3-touchdown game for Geno. I think there's going to be some scoring in this game, and I like the Seahawks at home. And so I like the energy that they're going to be coming off of this game that they just won this past week. And so I like Geno Smith.
Yep. So this week I'm going Bo Nix versus the Raiders. And my reasoning, kind of going with this, Bo Nix has looked really good. And I just think the Raiders they've started to just give up at this point. I think defensively Crosby came out and said, the season's basically over at this point, kind of without saying that. I think they've lost confidence in their coach. They're just trying to get to the end of the season. It is a rivalry game, so they're going to play them. But I do see a lot of opportunities for Bo Nix to score a lot of points.
Antonio Pierce back next year?
No. I think they got rid of Getsy at the bye week, and the team still is unorganized. They had a whole players meeting where they talked about how there's too much time between practices. Meetings aren't organized. The players vocally have came out and said that they needed more structure, and I think they just didn't fire him halfway through the season because the players wanted him. So I think they're kind of letting the players have it, because there's no point in firing him right now.
Well, it's too late in the season.
You've already lost it, and so just kind of ride it out with him. But I don't think he's back. I think they're going to get Deion Sanders as their coach because I think they're going to get his son as their quarterback, and I think Deion will bring the discipline that team really needs.
So you think it's going to be Sanders?
I think he's going to coach his son. I think he's going to be in Vegas with a team that has a great brand appeal. You got to think of all the great players that have played for the Raiders. So it's a great brand appeal, and that team really just needs structure. They've played great this season outside the quarterback and the penalties, and when you're talking about culture and bringing guys in, that's why I don't like Belichick. Because if you're getting the young quarterback, you're going to want kind of more of an offensive guy. And I think Deion Sanders, or Robert Saleh. No, I think Pierce is gone after this year. I think they didn't pull the trigger. The players wanted him, and so they're going to let the players have him for the year, but they're even coming out against him now.
Outside of Sanders, outside of Belichick, and we're looking at, there's going to probably be, we're looking at teams that are going to have, coaching opportunities for it. What coaches are out there right now that you would say, I got to get this guy for my team?
I think outside of those two, I'm taking a coordinator from Detroit. If I can get him out, because they stayed. If I can get one of those guys.
The only problem is that he's got rough edges. He's a good offensive coordinator, and he's done a good job with golfing him. I just don't know if he's head coach material. I mean, I just don't know. There's just, some of the ways that he refused to, or I can't remember the full thing that he refused, or he decided not to look into these job opening opportunities because he was offered job opportunities last year. I just don't know if he's the guy. And if I'm him anyway, I don't leave a good thing.
You don't think he's kind of like Magnolia?
Yeah,
you're not leaving.
You don't leave when you've got the quarterback and you've got the coach and you've got the system. To me, that's just I would hate something that I built. You know what I'm saying? That you've kind of helped put in place, and then to leave that, especially if the Lions, don't win the Super Bowl this year.
But I will tell you this, because there is a college coach that for years have been speculated to come to the NFL. He never has. That's Lincoln Riley. And he's having a rough year at USC.
Yeah.
And with all these offensive, you talk about the Giants and all these other teams, he's having a really bad year. And USC's really kind of on edge with it. This might be the year you could pull it.
But here's the thing, too, is that, the thing about Lincoln Riley is that, once again, we're going back into structure. How much of a structure are you going to put in? Because, you know, as much as we sit there and we talk about some of these coaches and stuff, you know, we talk about kneecaps, right, and everything else. But they bring in a structure and a culture.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the reasons why the Steelers don't get rid of Mike Tomlin. As much as everybody sits there and says they should have gotten rid of Mike Tomlin, you don't get rid of somebody that has a culture and a structure that is that good.
And that's why I'm really big on the Raiders trying to get Dion. I think that's the right, because he has brought Colorado kind of really from nobody, right, to actually prominence in his discipline. They're not a sloppy team, and they're really good. I think Dion's going to be the number
8-2 this year right now, right?
Yeah.
8-2? Yeah.
And he walked in 2 years ago and told them all to leave because they were no good. He went and got his guy. In the NFL, you ain't got to worry about that. They're all professionals. So I think bringing that to it, Deion Sanders will be the number one coach to go get.
All righty, brother. Well, that's our fantasy standouts, man. We appreciate you watching. We've been the Rant Squad. I'm the Water Dog. This is
Tournament Art.
And gang, we are out of here.